Hey there, welcome back. Quick question to kick us off. Where do you think the next breakthrough in medical testing is hiding? A shiny hospital lab? Maybe a Silicon Valley startup? Try again. Today we're plunging thousands of meters straight down to boiling, pitch-black seawater, because that's where scientists just found a tiny protein that could turbocharge the way we spot viruses and other diseases. Here's the headline. Lava proteins, pulled from the genetic grab bag of deep sea vents, are making everyday diagnostic kits faster, tougher, and cheaper. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes and you'll hear how one little protein, lava L1, might shrink the time between swab and answer, even in places with no fancy lab in sight. Section 1. The hunt for lava proteins. First, how on earth did researchers go protein shopping at the bottom of the ocean without renting a submarine? They raided metagenomic databases, basically giant online vaults of DNA that's been scooped up from soil, water, and yes, scalding vent fluid. Hidden in those sequences were blueprints for proteins no one had ever seen, including some that looked unusually small and rugged. Think of it like sifting through millions of Lego instruction sheets until one design jumps out as extra sturdy. The team printed those blueprints inside lab bacteria, let the microbes build the parts, and then tested what came out. One candidate, lava L1, refused to quit. It clung to DNA and kept working at temperatures, salt levels, and chemical punches that knock out everyday enzymes. That kind of grit is gold for point-of-care tests that have to survive dusty clinics and shaky truck rides. Section 2. Stress testing in the lab. Finding lava L1 was Chapter 1. Chapter 2. Could it handle real-world chaos? So the researchers spiked standard lamp test kits with the protein and cranked the stress dial. Hotter temperatures, extra salt, nasty detergents, even raw samples full of mucus or wastewater, all went into the mix. Picture a bridge engineer parking 18-wheelers on a brand new span just to see if it holds. Result? The reactions not only survived, they lit up roughly twice as fast. That speed bump matters because most tests don't fail with a loud bang. They just take too long or give a faint maybe. Cut the runtime in half and, suddenly, the patient waiting in front of you gets a clear yes or no before walking out the door. Section 3. Why does it work? Mechanistically, let's translate that. Here's what seems to be happening. 1. Lava L1 grabs the double-stranded DNA right where the polymerase needs to start, helping those strands peel apart more easily. 2. It shields the whole reaction from bullies like detergents and chaotropic salts that normally slow enzymes down. The chemistry stays the same, it just becomes a lot more forgiving. Think of lava L1 as WD-40 for molecular testing. Spray it on, and everything moves smoother. Section 4. Doors this could open. Now, why should you care? 3 quick scenarios. 1 cartridge, multiple viruses. A single lava-boosted swab could scan for flu, RSV, and SARS-CoV-2 without panicking about mucus gumming up the works. On-site wastewater surveillance. Treatment plants could monitor outbreaks locally instead of mailing samples across the country. Portable suitcase labs. Health workers in remote clinics could run reliable tests even if the fridge and the power grid are taking the day off. There's an economic kicker, too. Lava L1 is tiny and easy to crank out in vats of microbes, so manufacturers can drop it into existing kit assembly lines. No new instruments, no retraining nurses, just a subtle chemistry upgrade that barely nicks the budget. Section 5. Hurdles ahead. Of course, one promising preprint does not equal a green light for pharmacies. The protein still has to clear a gauntlet of validation studies, different sample types, regulatory head-to-heads with gold standard PCR, and careful checks for weird side effects.
But if, and it's a big if, those boxes get ticked, diagnostics could start to look more like software updates than hardware overhauls. Imagine the same plastic cartridge on the shelf, but the chemistry inside gets patched each flu season. Regulators may need playbooks for approving interchangeable helper modules the way aviation certifies replacement parts. Researchers are already tinkering with the lava scaffold, tweaking surface charges, reshaping binding grooves, to build a family of proteins, each optimized for a niche. One for speed, one for dusty field samples, another for ultra-low cancer markers in blood. Let that sink in for a second. Section 6. The Big Picture Recap. So here's what we covered today. Deep-sea vents are more than scenic. They hide genetic blueprints for super tough proteins. Lava L1, found through metagenomic data mining, makes LAMP tests both faster and harder to break. Early lab stress tests showed reactions firing in about half the usual time, even under brutal conditions. That robustness could unlock multivirus swabs, on-site wastewater checks, and suitcase labs in remote clinics, all without pricey new gear. The road to market still runs through rigorous validation, but if lava-style additives pass, diagnostic upgrades could roll out as easily as app updates. And here's the empowering part. The next time you hear about a new virus, or an old one making a comeback, you'll know that solutions might already be bubbling away in some of Earth's harshest corners, waiting for scientists to scoop them up and drop them into the tests that land on pharmacy shelves. Thanks for diving deep with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who loves nerdy ocean facts, or anyone sick of long waits for lab results. I'm your host, signing off until next time. Stay curious and stay healthy.